I have just tested for my after evening meal, and it's high. It's supposed to be 7.8 and is at 10.9, so that's high. And they said that if it's at 10, I need to call. And the meal that I had was, I had a little bit of rice with like a Thai curry that I made with parathas. One paratha. The rice wasn't a lot though. It wasn't like a lot of rice, but it's high. My glucose was high.
It's okay.
Okay. Oh no, I reckon this is close.
Of course you do. We've been here millions of times.
No, this is how I take one out.
Hello, my name's Diana. I'm the midwife. How are you doing?
I'm okay. You?
Good, I'm fine, thank you. Good.
Weight was too high.
Push him down.
So I've been here since Tuesday. So today's Friday. 3 days. 3 days? Yeah. I want to go home. I'm tired, I'm fed up of being here. I miss my son. I miss my husband. I'm trying to be very, very strong. I don't want to get like all emotional and all of that, because I don't think it's going to be good for the baby, nor is it going to be good for me mentally anyway. But it's hard. Just because I feel like I'm not being there for my husband and my child. But yeah, but baby's fine. He's okay. He's getting monitored right now, so anything that's gone on within the past 3 days. But I'll talk probably more in depth about it. I'm so blessed by the fact that baby's okay. Because I'd rather it be that way, rather than baby being, ill or something going on with the baby and I'm fine. I'd rather take the pain or the discomfort or the problem rather than him, because he is all I'm worried about. Hence why I'm staying so strong, because nobody wants to get stressed. When you're pregnant and you're stressed, it's only going to cause more damage to you and the baby. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to get this baby out healthy, happy, and I still have like 10 weeks to go. So power to the strong mamas out there. But yeah, I just thought I'll check in, soon. And by the time you guys see the video, I'll be like bouncing, hair on fleek, makeup on fleek, feeling fresh. Lips aren't gonna looking all dry, skin plumped. You don't understand. It's gonna be a different scenario. Bye. So I had continuous headaches regardless of me taking paracetamol and everything. I then had an appointment for with the gestational diabetes team, or the diabetic team, where obviously they talked about diet, they talked about my medication, they talked about all these things in terms of my gestational diabetes. But when I was there, because I've had this headache for 3 days,
they were a bit concerned. So the doctor that I saw, she was quite concerned. She could see how fatigue and how this headache was affecting me. So she was really worried, and she said to me, I'm not quite convinced that you're going to be okay. I feel like you need to go into St. Mary's triage straight away, because this headache has not stopped, and it could be a blood clot in the brain. It can happen during pregnancy. I'm like, okay. So long story short, this woman is explaining to me the high risk of this headache that I'm getting, and she's explaining to me, and I'm like, woman, I need to go pick up my son from nursery. Yeah. So you're telling me I need to go to hospital now? Who's gonna pick up my son from nursery? My husband's at work, so she's telling me what I need to do. I'm like, listen, I can't do that for you right now. I can't go to A&E, or so not A&E, I can't go to St. Mary's triage, because right now I've got a current, I need to go pick up my son. I need to make sure he's okay. I need to make sure I've packed his bag, do you know? And she's just looking at me like, yeah, you need to go. I'm like, okay. Long story short, I ended up being in hospital. They kept me in because they were really worried about this blood clot in my brain. So I ended up staying the night. Well, I thought I was staying the night. So I ended up staying the night. They did a CT scan for me at 4 in the morning the next day, which was on a Wednesday. 4 in the morning, they woke me up. Well, they woke me up around 2, because you know they're doing all their checks. CT, we're booking you an appointment for a CT scan. So I went for this CT scan very, very early in the morning. And I had to wait for those results. Those results came back, and when the results came back, they in the morning that same day, you know, the doctor came to me and said, we saw that the fact that your pituitary gland looks like it's bigger than what it's supposed to be. So what this meant was the hormone levels are too high in my blood, brain, whatever, and it could end up making this pituitary gland, which hangs at the bottom of your brain somewhere along here, which could obviously have major effects on your whole entire health. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna freak out. I'm gonna calm down, because I know God's got me. Regardless of what the situation is, I'm not gonna freak out, because this is not the time to do that at all. So they've explained to me exactly what it was, and it's something along the lines of it's called crushing syndrome. So it ends up being like a tumor, basically. So then they were like, well, we need to go for an eye test and eye examinations, all of this, just to make sure that the pituitary gland is not big enough to kind of weigh down on the nerves that affects my eye, which obviously will give me this whole entire headache I've been going through. Went through that, checked over that. I was honestly so sick, but the eye scan the eye examinations and all of that came back a bit, you know, dodgy, wasn't so clear to them. So they said I had to go for an MRI scan. So I went for an MRI scan. It was so horrible. It was so noisy. I felt so bad for this baby, because the noise, literally, my baby was kicking and moving like so vigorously inside. I was so worried, and I just kept on praying to God. I said, God, please just protect my child. Please just protect my child. And I came out of it. It was okay. And then again, obviously, you know, they have to sit over and talk about this and have this discussion. So once they had this whole big discussion, they said it's the pituitary gland is normal, the hormone level is normal for someone that's pregnant, because it does get a bit bigger when you're pregnant. Again, I was relieved, of course, and I was just ready to go home. And they were like, well, yeah, it seems like it's just a migraine that's just a bit more difficult to shake off. I said, okay. I said, can I go home, please? So literally went home, and I came back home on Friday evening. So I've been adjusting. I've had a few headaches, but I'm trying my best to adjust, as I am in the comfort of my own home. It is a lot, more easier. I'm seeing my son, I'm seeing my husband. That was basically my journey or my little story in terms of what's been going on with me. So my health has been up and down recently, and I feel very fatigued. I feel very tired. Obviously I myself sometimes don't eat on time, which makes it worse, so obviously I know that and I need to work on that. What I've been doing is obviously timing myself to say, okay, I'm gonna give myself 30 minutes. This is when I have the energy, 30 minutes to tidy up, and after that 30 minutes, that's it. Whether I'm tired, whether I'm not tired, that's enough, and I will rest or chill out or do something else where it doesn't require me to do too much, just because I know that I don't want to put myself back into this position of going into hospital. But one thing I do want to talk about is the fact that I got so much care, so much help, so much attention when I went to St. Mary's, and I was so grateful. Like, all the time I was in hospital, I was just so grateful to be in a position where I'm able to get the help that I needed at that time. Because just imagine going into your regular checkup or your regular appointment and someone noticing that something is not clear and wanting to help you, wanting to make sure they do this and this and this for you, and how quickly they made sure that everything is been checked over. They did their checks thoroughly. I was just very grateful. So when I was lying in the hospital bed, I wasn't trying to stress myself or anything. I was actually grateful because I have someone, or I have a group of people who's able to help me, because I know that not every woman in the world is gonna get this treatment or this patience from the doctors, from the nurses, from the porters, from the people who give you food, from the cleaners, you name it. Not everybody in the world gets this, and I was so grateful and so humble by all of this. And I know, especially with where I'm from recently, we've had quite a lot of deaths in terms of pregnancy related or giving birth related, and I just thought if they were able to, sorry, I'm getting like all emotional, if they were able to get the care that I got, 100% they'd be in a different sort of light. They'll be able to hold their children or their babies, and they'll be able to do what they would have wanted to do as mothers. So sometimes we have to be really grateful for these things that we receive in our lives, because not everybody gets the chance to receive these benefits that, or this care that I got, or this treatment. So I'm truly grateful, and I pray that with any woman all over the world who's going through pregnancy, it's never an easy thing, it's a hard thing to do. I just pray that God shields you, God protects your whole being, your child, your whole mental state, your whole physicality. I pray that God protects all of that, and you're able to deliver your child in good health, in peace, in happiness, in good hands, in good love, in good environment.